Continuing on with the kits, these are the specific conditions which your clients may obtain. The first one, acne. This should be the first vial that you clear for your clients that have an acne problem. There are other things to clear as well, such as hormones and food. Remember to tell your client that it's a process and most miracles don't happen overnight. Adrenals. The term adrenals is synonymous with stress. Ask the client whether they get up feeling tired even on weekends, and ask them whether they need coffee to wake up. Also, ask them whether they get tired from 2 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. If they answered yes to any of these questions, then clear them from this vial. Aged cheese. If your client experiences any problems with aged cheese, then clear him or her from this vial. Air conditioning. If your client experiences any sneezing when the air conditioning is turned on, then clear them from this vial. Alcoholic beverages. I had a few female clients who just loved drinking wine on the weekend. But whenever they had wine, they would either feel gassy or they would have diarrhea the next day. Clear your clients from this vial along with the wine vial. Almonds. If your client experiences any problems with almonds, then clear them from this vial. Aloe vera. If your client experiences any problems with aloe vera, then clear them from this vial. Ammonia. I had this one client who was a cleaning lady, and she would sneeze whenever there was any ammonia in the products that she used. I cleared her from the ammonia vial, and she has been fine ever since. Anemia. This is low in iron, which should be taken care of by rebalancing the iron vial in both the specific conditions and the heavy metals iron vial found in the kits. But should those fail, then considering eliminating this vial as well. Ankle. Rebalance your client if they experience any ankle pain. Anxiety. The adrenals should be first checked and possibly cleared from your client. If they are still feeling anxious, then consider clearing the emotion anxiety from the kits and clearing this vial at the same time. Arthritis is just a food allergy, and some of it is inherited too. Depending on how many years your client has had arthritis in their hands or fingers may dictate how much success we have in rebalancing your client. In any case, the pain he or she feels in their fingers should dissipate. Asbestos. It still exists in older homes. Your clients should get the builders to remove it and get your clients cleared from it as well. Asthma. Though it can be related to an environmental or food allergy as well, you should start with eliminating the asthma vials first. Atherosclerosis. It refers to the buildup of fats, cholesterol, and other substances in and on your artery walls, which can restrict blood flow. Clearing your clients from this vial should help. Athlete's foot. If your client experiences any problems with athlete's foot, then clear him or her from this vial. Autism. There are 8 vials that we have to clear from anyone suffering from autism. Just inform your clients that this is a process. We will eliminate vaccines to eggs and a whole lot in between. Send your clients the ingredient list so that they know precisely what you're clearing next, and remember to ask your client whether their child has shown improvement with each clearing. Back pain. We must clear off the back pain items as well as do the laser acupuncture for back pain. Bedwetting. Though it's embarrassing to talk about, we can clear the bedwetting episodes that your client has been receiving. This should help. Bee sting. If your client's arm has a large reaction to bee sting, then clear him from this vial. Bile. Though not used very much, if your clients have an allergic reaction to bile, then clear him or her from this vial. Bladder vaginal. If your female client has a bladder problem, then clear him or her from this vial. Blood sugar. If your client suffers from diabetes, then clear this vial. Brazil nut. If your client experiences any problems with Brazil nuts, then clear him or her from this vial. Bronchitis. You should clear the kid's major organs, lungs, as well as this vial. Bursitis. Clearing your clients from calcium and magnesium should help. Candida. While clearing the Candida vials from your client will get them ready for Candida cleanse, it needs to be done in conjunction with this clearing. The company Physica has an extremely good Candida cleanse and is available in the US and in Canada. Look them up, give them a call, and tell them that I referred you. Canker sores. Believe it or not, clearing the client from vitamins B and C should aid in their fight against canker sores. But clearing them from food or stress should also help. Car exhaust. While mainly for someone who is around car exhaust frequently, this should clear them from it. Car fluids. While mainly for someone who is around car fluids frequently, this should clear them from it. Carrot. This item is reserved for a test item. Your client should not be allergic to carrots, but ask them before you begin. It is used to show the difference between a positive and a negative test. Cashew. If your client experiences any problems with cashew nuts, then clear him or her from this vial. Cats. Perhaps one of the more commonly used items, the cat allergy is common among a lot of people. While the cat vial will clear within one session, it is the bag of collected cat hair that requires 3 to 4 sessions. But remember that after the first session, we can do the cat hair in conjunction with some other substance. Cataract. Mainly over 60 disease, cataracts can be rebalanced using our vial. Celiac disease. Gluten and gliadin are the main culprits in this disease. We can help out by clearing your client of these. Chestnuts. If your client experiences any problems with chestnuts, then clear him or her from this vial. Chickenpox. Depending on whether your client has never contracted chickenpox or if they have contracted it more than once, you will want to rebalance the client from this vial. Chlorine. I had this one client who was an avid swimmer, but every time he would go into the pool, he would sneeze. Clearing him from chlorine did the trick. Chocolate. This one I really do feel sorry for. But if anyone has a chocolate allergy, clear them from this vial. Cholesterol. If your client is dealing with an elevated level of cholesterol, help them by clearing them from this vial. Chronic fatigue. Related to the Epstein-Barr virus, I have a personal connection to this. Having contracted the virus about 8 years ago, I had it cleared and 50% of my strength came back that day and 100% the next day. And I haven't contracted the disease or virus again. Cigarettes. I had one client whose friends all smoked, and he would get itchy eyes and plugged nose. After clearing him from cigarettes, he no longer has this reaction. Coconuts. If your client experiences any problems with coconuts, then clear him or her from this vial. Coffee. I had this one client who was allergic to caffeine in coffee. It was a decaffeinated coffee that she would drink as a result. After clearing her from the coffee vial and from the coffee she brought in, she can drink all the caffeinated coffee she wants to. Cold sores. If your client experiences any problems with cold sores, then clear him or her from this vial. Colitis. It refers to inflammation of the inner lining of the colon. We can help out by rebalancing it from the body. Colon. If anyone has problems with their colon, rebalance that individual. Concussion. If caught within a month of having the concussion, we can certainly help out in this manner. A kid from my son's soccer team had a concussion when someone ran into him. I treated him from the concussion, and within 3 sessions, he was okay. Conjunctivitis. It is an inflammation or swelling of the conjunctiva and is often called pink eye. We can help out by rebalancing that vial. Constipation. While it is normally a food allergy, and rebalancing the food substance will help out the constipated feeling that client is having. If it is more than that, then rebalancing the constipation vials will help. Corn. Even though 99% of all corn out there is GMO'd, which is why we're having problems digesting it, we will rebalance the corn. Cough. A cough can be tough to solve. You can see body talk, which is coming up next, but start with this vial and any foods that he is eating. Crohn's. It is a type of inflammatory bowel disease that may affect any part of the gastrointestinal tract from the mouth to the anus. Rebalance them from this vial and it should help. Cystic fibrosis. It causes various effects on the body, but mainly affects the digestive system and the lungs. Depression. These vials should be rebalanced in conjunction with the emotion depression. I had this one lady who had just lost her husband for about 1.5 years, and she was suffering from depression. Well, after clearing her from depression, about a month later I saw her, and what a difference she said the vial had made. Dogs. Similar to cats, the dog allergy is common among a lot of people. While a dog vial will clear within 1 session, it is the bag of collected dog hair that requires 2 to 3 clearings. But remember that after the first session, we can do the dog hair in conjunction with some other substance. Dust. Exactly the same as dust and fumes number 3. This vial captures most of the dust out there and is part of the environmental package that we offer. Dyspepsia, also known as indigestion, is a term that describes discomfort or pain in the upper abdomen. Ebola. It is a fever that can cause death. If traveling to Africa or of the states around there, it is a good idea to get cleared from it. E. coli. It is a bacteria that normally lives in the intestines of healthy people and animals. Most varieties of E. coli are harmless or cause relatively brief diarrhea, but a few particularly nasty strains, it can cause severe abdominal cramps, bloody diarrhea, and vomiting. Eczema. It can be caused by both the environment to the foods that we eat. Eggs. While we have the majority of the eggs, it's a good idea to bring whatever egg that they're eating in its cooked form. There is a definite difference between a sunny side up egg and a hard-boiled egg. They should bring in whatever form they will be eating. Feather. For those clients who are allergic to feathers, we have that covered. Fibromyalgia. It is a disorder characterized by widespread muscular skeletal pain, accompanied by fatigue, sleep, memory, and mood issues. Flower pollens. Not included as part of the environmental package, this option exists for people who want to be cleared of flowers. Formaldehyde. It is still in use, although the ramifications are that great. Gallstones. If your clients have had gallstones in the past, then they might want to consider rebalancing them from gallstones. Garlic. This represents one of 2 items that we've had problems with in the past. There's only about a 50% chance that they will be cleared from garlic. GERD. It is a digestive disorder that affects the ring of muscle between the esophagus and the stomach. Gout. It is a form of inflammatory arthritis that develops in some people who have high levels of uric acid in the blood. Green tea. As the name implies, we may need to balance some people from this vial. Guinea pig. Though not as popular as a cat or dog, guinea pigs also have people allergic to them. H. pylori. It is a type of bacteria. These germs can enter your body and live in your digestive tract. After many years, they can cause ulcers in the lining of your stomach or the upper part of your small intestine. Hair loss. While this vial may not cause the hair to grow back, it should stop any further loss from happening. Hair products. From conditioning products to hairsprays, we have most products, but it would be wise to have you communicate with your client to bring in a sample of each item. Hamster. These are just similar to the guinea pig. Hazelnuts. If your client experiences any problems with hazelnuts, then clear him of her or her from this vial. Headache. There are 2 causes. 1. Any stress that your clients are going through. Or 2. Weather changes. Hemorrhoids. Although it has its ingredients such as magnesium and fiber, there's nothing like going after the source of it. Most of the time, it is food. Herpes. This virus affects the external genitalia, anal region, mucosal surface, and skin in other parts of the body. Symptoms include blisters, ulcers, pain when urinating, cold sores, and vaginal discharge. Hiatal hernia occurs when the upper part of your stomach bulges through the large muscle separating your abdomen and chest. High blood pressure. Rebalance your clients from this vial to help lower blood pressure. If your clients come in by next weekend, ask them if there has been any noticeable signs. Histamine. As a neurotransmitter for the brain, spinal cord, and uterus, it is involved in the inflammatory response and has a central role as a mediator of itching. Hives. They're often hard to diagnose, but wait until the next section entitled Body Talk. Horse. Similar to the guinea pig. Hydrogen peroxide. It is a mild antiseptic used on the skin to prevent infection of minor cuts, scrapes, and burns. IgE. They are antibodies produced by the immune system. Insomnia. You can do this one in conjunction to sleep disorder clearing. Iron. Most common in women. You will take out the heavy metals iron vial and do both of these together. Irritable bowel syndrome. It is a common disorder that affects the large intestine. Signs and symptoms include cramping, abdominal pain, bloating, gas, diarrhea, or constipation. Itching. Hard to determine this one without asking your client whether it's food, environmental, or animals. From there, you have to direct very specific questions. Kidney stones. If your clients have had kidney stones in the past, then they might want to consider rebalancing them from kidney stones. Knee. We must clear off the knee pain as well as do laser acupuncture for knee pain. Latex. Polymers can be solidified into rubber is what latex is. We had this one girl who worked at a dental office which used a lot of latex in their practice. Having been cleared of this latex substance, she can now go on to work without feeling so worried. Lichen planus. It is a condition that can cause swelling and irritation in the skin, hair, nails, and mucous membranes. On the skin, lichen planus usually appears as purplish, itchy flat bumps that develop over several weeks. Lupus. Normally, the immune system protects the body from infection. In lupus, however, the immune system inappropriately attacks tissues in various parts of the body. This abnormal activity leads to tissue damage and illness. Macadamia nut. If your client experiences any problems with macadamia nuts, then clear him or her from this vial. Mango. I had this one guy who was the only person I've ever met that was allergic to mangoes. Well, after clearing him, he can now eat mangoes to his heart's content. Memory. I usually ask the question of how often do your clients remember their dreams? And if the answer I get is within 2 weeks, I ignore the memory issue. But if the answer is greater than 2 weeks, that's when I tell them that I can clear whatever it is that is blocking their memory. Upon clearing them of the memory issue, you must remember to prescribe a vitamin B complex and vitamin B6. If you have these in stock, then checking them on these two vitamins to see if there are any allergies to them would be greatly beneficial. Menopause. It is the time when your menstrual period stops permanently and you can no longer get pregnant. If there are hot flashes then that you get continually, then clearing menopause can help. Menstruation. If your clients have heavy menstruation periods or inconsistent times between menstruation periods, then clear them from this vial. Migraines. If clearing up the foods, the geopathic stressors have no effect on your clients' migraines, then clear them from this migraine vial as well. Milk. Normally we do dairy to clear off milk, but if your client insists that it's only milk that bothers them, then do this vial. Mint. If your client experiences any problems with mints, then clear him from this vial. Molluscum contagiosum. I hope I pronounced that right. It is a relatively common viral infection of the skin that results in round, firm, painless bumps ranging in size from a pinhead to a pencil eraser. Morphine. If your client experiences any problems with morphine, then clear him or her from this vial. Mosquito. If your client develops large raised welts or they itch the mosquito bites for longer than 2 days, then they do have an allergic reaction to it and they need to be cleared. Motion sickness. Ask your clients whether they get sick sitting on the back seat of cars, boats, or planes. If they answer yes to any of them, clear them from motion sickness. We have a 75% track record of clearing the motion sickness. MSG. If your client experiences any problems with MSG, then clear him or her from this vial. Muscle, tendon, ligaments. If your client keeps re-injuring the same spot on his or her body, then perhaps it's this vial that they need clearing from. Myelin sheath. They are sleeves of fatty tissues that protect your nerve cells. These cells are part of your central nervous system, which carries messages back and forth between your brain and the rest of your body. Neck. We must clear off the neck pain items as well as do the laser acupuncture for neck pain. Onions. This represents one of two items that we've had problems with in the past. There is only about a 50% chance that they will be cleared from onions. Oranges. If your client experiences any problems with oranges, then clear him or her from this vial. Osteoporosis. It is a bone disease that occurs when the body loses too much bone, makes too little bone, or both. As a result, both bones become weak and may break from a fall. Peanuts. With so many kids now having developed an anaphylactic reaction to these peanuts, we have to carry them. Pecan. If your client experiences any problems with pecans, then clear him or her from this vial. Pepper. This includes black and white pepper that you sprinkle onto food. Peppers. This includes red, green, and yellow pepper from the vegetable family. Perfumes. With so many perfumes constantly being invented, we couldn't possibly have them all. For this reason, your clients must bring in the perfume that they're having trouble with. Peroxide. These are a group of compounds with the structure ROOR, where the OO group in a peroxide is called the peroxide group. Pine nuts. If your client experiences any problems with pine nuts, then clear him or her from this vial. Pistachio. If your client experiences any problems with pistachios, then clear him or her from this vial. PMS. If your clients have heavy PMS periods or inconsistent times between menstruation periods, then clear them from this vial. Pneumonia. If your clients have had pneumonia in the past, then clear them from this vial. Poison ivy, oak, and sumac. If your clients have severe scratching from encountering these plants, then they could use a clearing from them. Polyurethane is a polymer composed of organic units joined by carbonate or urethane links. Prednisone. This is the go-to drug for most doctors and is overprescribed. We've had a number of clients that have shown adverse reactions to the drug. For this reason, we want to clear prednisone from their bodies. Prostate cancer. This is the only form of cancer that I will handle. Outside of this clearing session, suggest to the clients that they should take Physica Juniper, which is specifically for the prostate. Psoriasis. It causes cells to build up quickly on the surface of the skin. These extra skin cells form red patches that are itchy and sometimes painful. Rats and guinea pigs. Rats also have people allergic to them. Salt. Sometimes a substance as innocent as salt will cause allergies in people. Sesame seeds. If your client experiences any problems with sesame seeds, then clear or her from this vial. Sexual disorders. Although it doesn't come up very often, if your client has any sexual disorders, then clear them from this vial. Shingles. Similar to the chickenpox family, shingles most often appear as a single stripe of blister that wraps around either the left or right side of your torso. Shoulder. We must clear out the shoulder pain items as well as do the laser acupuncture for shoulder pain. Sinus. As part of the environmental package, sinuses are cleared off by us as well. Skin. If there's anything going on with your skin that has unexplainable results, then it is this vial that we should clear from you. Sleep apnea. If the sleep disorders vials have done nothing, and then it's this vial that we want to suggest for clients who are dealing with sleep apnea. Soaps. If your clients have redness or welts showing up whenever they use soaps on their bodies or hands or face, then it's probably because of soaps that they are using. Soya bean. Even though soy is only marginally better than milk, we will clear off the allergy to soya beans for your clients. Staph and strep. The cause of staph or strep throat is bacteria known as Streptococcus pyogenes, also known as Group A Streptococcus. Streptococcal bacteria are highly contagious. They can spread through airborne droplets when someone with the infection coughs or sneezes, or through shared food or drinks. We clear this among some other bacteria. Sulfur. If your client experiences any problems with sulfur, then clear them from this vial. Sun sensitivity. There was this client of mine who had a severe allergy to sunlight. Every time she went outside, her face would puff out, and this effect would last on her face for about 10 days. Clearing her from this vial was the greatest thing that we could do for her, as she can now venture off into the sunlight. Sweat. We had this one kid who sweated profusely, and every time he sweat, it would produce small raised welts on his skin. Clearing him from sweat did the trick. Temperature sensitivity. If your clients are constantly feeling cold, then this vial may be for them. It rebalances the temperature sensitivity in them. Tendonitis, such as tennis elbow, is when a tendon swells up and becomes painful after a tendon injury. Thyroid. If your client gains weight easily or has trouble putting on any pounds, then it could be a thyroid issue. We rebalance the thyroid vial as well as do the thyroid acupuncture for them. Toxoplasmosis. It is a disease that results from infection with the Toxoplasma gondii parasite. I hope I pronounced that right. One of the world's most common parasites. Infection usually occurs by undercooked contaminated meat, exposure from infected cat feces, or mother-to-child transmission during pregnancy. Tuberculosis, also known as TB, is a serious disease. TB is caused by bacteria that spread through the air when a person contagious with TB coughs, sneezes, sings, or talks. Ulcers. These are open sores that develop on the inside lining of your stomach and the upper portion of your small intestine. Uric acid. This can lead to a disease called gout that causes painful joints and accumulate uric crystals. It can also make your blood and urine too acidic. Urinary tract infection. Most infections involve the lower urinary tract, the bladder, and the urethra. Women are greater risk of developing a UTI than men. Vaginitis. It is an inflammation of the vagina that can result in discharge, itching, and pain. Varicose veins. They are superficial veins that have become enlarged and twisted. Typically, they occur just under skin in the legs. Vertigo. It is a feeling that you're spinning or the world is spinning around you. Vinegar. If your client experiences any problems with vinegar, then clear them from this vial. Viruses. If your client has caught any viruses or doesn't want to be caught by them, then clearing them from this vial would have immense benefits to them. Vitiligo. Symptoms and signs of vitiligo include loss of skin color in the form of depigmented or white patches of skin in any location on the body. Walnuts. If your client experiences any problems with walnuts, then clear them from this vial. Warts. Most warts appear as small, flat, flesh-colored or cauliflower-like bumps. Whey. It is the liquid remaining after milk has been curdled and strained. It is the byproduct of the manufacture of cheese or casein and has several commercial uses. Wine. I had a few female clients who just loved drinking wine on the weekend, but whenever they had wine, they would feel either gassy or they would have diarrhea the next day. Clear your clients from this vial along with the alcoholic beverages vial. Risks. Rebalance your client if they experience any wrist pain. Yeast. If your client experiences any problems with yeast, then clear them from this vial.